Now we'll start with the next part. Please everyone follow carefully so that you understand. Okay? Interpersonal skills. Can you see the screen, everyone? What is interpersonal skills? When people are working together in an organization, we continuously, Costa, please sit straight and pay attention to the class. New things I'm teaching, I want you to pay attention. So whenever people are working together, their ability to communicate with each other, that quality or ability which enables a person to understand the other or make someone, convince someone else to understand what I'm trying to say, that is nothing but an interpersonal skills. Each interpersonal skill is different from the other. Every person is different in their needs, their attitude, their temperament, their behavior, their age group. So when I'm connecting to another person, when I'm speaking to another person, it is very important what kind of interpersonal skill I'm using. Am I doing it through a speaking skill? Am I just listening to the other person? I'm trying to persuade him. I'm using probing skills, or I'm using conflict handling skills. These we are going to elaborate. Yes, Kaustav, you raised your hand. Tell me.
Ma'am, what is the word? Wait.
Sorry? What is?
You said temperament. What is temperament?
Temperament. Temperament is the way you conduct yourself, your moods, your swings. You know, every person has a
attitude.
Attitude. Some people are very cool-headed, calm, composed. Their temperament is generally calm by nature. Some people are very, fidgety by nature. Some people are very angry, all the time they're angry on things. So everyone's temperament is different. The way you handle a person, the way you speak to a person also judges your interpersonal skill. Now you are seeing so many teachers conducting your online classes. Do you feel the temperament of every teacher is same? No, it is different.
No.
The way we interact, maybe the way you interact with me is different. The way you interact with another teacher is different. So the interpersonal skills show your temperament, your body language, your behavior, your attitude. Okay, and that is what we are going to elaborate out on today. Can I go to the next slide? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
The first skill I'm talking about is speaking skill. Yes, Ved.
Ma'am, Neha is saying she's not able to understand in the chat.
What she's not able to understand?
Ma'am, I don't know. She said something in the chat. Ma'am, it popped up.
I'm not able to understand. Neha, what you're not being able to understand,
yes,
clarify. Put it in the chat box. I'll read it and then I'll answer your question. Let me at least go ahead with the class. Okay? Yes. Interpersonal skills, once more I'm explaining for those who are having trouble. People working in an organization, they continuously interact with each other. Interpersonal skill is nothing but the quality or the ability with the help of which a person can understand the other person. Okay, my quality to make you understand is my interpersonal skill. The way you react to it, the way you respond to it is your interpersonal skill. So each person is different in terms of their needs, what they want, what they desire, what is their attitude, the way they conduct themselves, their temperaments, their behavior. It is different from one person to the other. So therefore, a person should be able to interact effectively with different type of people. The way you interact with your mother will be different with the way you interact with your teacher. And it will be different with the way you interact with the principal. Right? So for each person in your life, your interaction is different. Today, if I ask Kaustav to interact with Ronak, the language or the way he's going to be informal with Ronak, he might not be with me because obviously he's addressing me as a teacher. Right? So the interpersonal skills will be different in the way you interact with different people of different age groups. And there are many different kinds of interpersonal skills. We have speaking skills, we have listening skills, the way you persuade, the way a salesperson persuades a customer. So that comes under persuading skills. Probing skill is the skill of asking question. When you put your questions forward and we try to answer them, that becomes a probing skill. When there is a fight between each other, that becomes a conflict handling skill. In fact, how do you work in a group? Because of team building, because of adaptability. You try to adjust with each other. So that is again an interpersonal skill, right? Your affirmative skills, how good you are, how confident you are in interacting with each other. That is called an affirmative skill. Negotiation skills means the way you negotiate with others, the way you get along with others, right? I hope now the whole idea of what interpersonal skills are is clear. Now the first skill I'm talking about are speaking skills. Speaking, my tone, my fluency, my vocabulary, the grammar, the pronunciations. The ability to speak well is a very valuable skill because people will be able to relate to you. When you are able to talk, when you are able to express yourself, people will be able to relate to what you're trying to say. Speaking is an art and it can be mastered through training and practice. Why in the junior classes we are made to practice reading, read aloud? It happens or not? Why
Yes,
so?
ma'am. So our speaking skill improve.
So that your reading skills, your speaking skills,
And you can use better words.
right? Why do we participate in debates? Why do we participate?
And everybody should understand.
in elocution contests? Why do we do it?
Conflict handling skills improve.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, so that all your different ways to handle the skill, it becomes better. So following guidelines help you to become a good speaker. Number one is knowing your subject. A good speaker must know and understand the topic on which he is speaking. If you are a good speaker, you will exactly know on what you're talking about. Like my chapter today is verbal non-verbal. So I'm talking on that. If you are speaking about something else, your topic will be different, right? So you should know the subject matter on what you are talking. Know your audience. The effectiveness of a speaker depends largely on the intelligence, attitude, and behavior of the audience. If the audience is intelligent, if the audience is very responsive, you as a speaker will love to speak to such an audience. Yes or no? Today, if say I'm asking you, Kaustav, give a speech. Kaustav spoke. Everyone interacts with Kaustav. Kaustav, would you like it? Or would you like a dull speech? You are going on and on speaking and everyone is sleeping around you.
I would like the first one.
The first one. So it is very important that your effectiveness will come as a speaker depending on your audience, who he or she is. Adopt the right posture. When you conduct yourself, when you're talking, you should maintain eye contacts with the speaker. It helps to maintain a link and to personalize to what you say. At the same time, you need to be empathetic. Put yourself in the position of the listener also. Understand that what the listener is trying to, get from what you are trying to say. Do not hurt the feelings and sentiments of your audience. So be very careful in the words you use, the way you are talking. It should not hurt others. What will happen if I target someone and speak rudely to that person? Will that person be responsive to me?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
What? I'm asking you a question. Give me an answer.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. So you have to be very empathetic about the feelings of the others. Remember, words once spoken, they cannot be taken back, right? They are like a fire bullet. Once come out, it cannot be removed. Use humor. Humor is also a very important part in any communication. What happens when a comedy show comes or something nice, hilarious comes? We feel happy. We like to watch it, right? So even when we are conversing, if there is a little bit of humor involved, the conversation becomes even better. Involve your audience. Ask questions. See that they are hearing to you. They are understanding to what you're saying. So involvement of the audience is very important. You must practice to gain self-confidence. Very important. When I'm saying something, I should be confident, and that will improve the art of speaking. Tell me, any points here not clear? You want me to repeat anything here? Okay. Now we go to listening skills. What is listening? Anyone? What is
Ma'am,
listening?
listening is hearing out a person.
Hearing out a person. Very good. So listening with complete attention and empathy is essential for success of communication. Speaker is going on and on talking, but listener is not listening. The whole effectiveness of the communication gets lost. So listener plays an equally important role in a conversation, and his role is even more important than the speaker, because if he listens and he responds back, it's then that the speaker knows that yes, the feedback he wanted, he is getting. Now, what are the important conditions we need to understand in listening, the guidelines. Positive attitude. Never have a negative attitude towards anyone. Don't be biased. Don't have, ego. Why I need to listen to this person? It is not needed. No, don't close yourself. Be open to listen to others. Concentration. You should concentrate on what the other person is trying to say rather than the physical appearance. Oh, this person is not good to look at. Oh, his expressions are not nice. He is so dull. I don't want to listen to him. No, don't judge by the physical look of the person. Atmosphere. Arrange the lecture in a very quiet place where it's free of noise. What happens when a factory worker is working with heavy machines and suddenly the manager comes to give him instructions? Will he follow them?
No, ma'am, because ma'am, there's a disturbance of noise.
There's a disturbance of noise. You'll not get the full attention. Pay complete attention to what the speaker is saying. Do not talk in the middle. Keep quiet when the speaker is saying, so you can listen. Then after that, you put up your thoughts. Try to listen to what a speaker means rather than what he says. Reception. By listening to a long talk, try to repeat the key ideas to yourself. If there is a long speech that has taken place or someone has been talking for a long time, try to take the exact content of what is being told to you. This will enable you to understand and assimilate the talk. Assimilate the talk means what?
Ma'am,
Last line?
ma'am, assimilate the talk means understand the talk.
Okay, anything else?
And get it together.
Yes, getting together. Assimilate means putting the thoughts together. Okay. Then minimum notes. Do not try to note down everything what the speaker says. Try to only take the keywords down. Keep the notes to the minimum. Again, as I said, your body language is very important. When you sit across, when you put a focus, a smile on your face, even the speaker feels happy to listen to you. So a good listener should use both his eyes and ears effectively. Pay attention to the facial expressions, the gestures of the speaker. Improve your vocabulary. Mastery over language is very important. If I'm going to constantly fumble in what I'm saying, then you will not understand. So it is very important to master your language well. Patience. Be patient and allow the speaker to speak freely. And then you can raise your questions. Costa, what is the problem going on? Why is your sister coming in the middle of the class? Please ask.
Oh, ma'am, by mistake my phone turned. So that's why she came.
Okay. So let's put up now. I'm going to put up some questions to see how much you have listened to judge your listening skills. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Let's start. Give me one of the conditions for speaking skill, Rana.
Oh, ma'am.
Anyone? How much you have listened? Let's see. What should a speaker have?
Attention.
Okay, for your help, I put
Ma'am,
the
can I try? Ma'am, can I try?
Ma'am,
Can I try?
one by one.
Ma'am, I'll try first.
Okay.
Ma'am, the speaker, the speaker should know his subject, so he can speak a lot about it, and also know his audience and analyze his audience, so he knows how they like their speaker to be, so they don't get bored and they get interactive.
Second, who's going to tell me? Next one.
Ma'am, a speaker should be empathetic and he should not hurt anyone's feelings.
Excellent.
And he should be in practice of his subject, like what he's speaking should be like fully prepared,
Okay.
so that he does not fumble and does not irritate the audience.
Okay. Melvin, next is your turn.
He should involve audience. For example, if he's giving a speech, so he will ask audience to give questions of answers, and he will involve them to make the speech more interactive.
Okay, very good. Rana? Neha, can you try one? Is she
Yeah, I
there
will.
or she's not there? I can see her. Okay. At least you can put
Ma'am,
your
she's
answer
saying
in
have some patience for listening.
Ma'am,
Have some
here
qualities of listening. Okay, yes, patience is one of the qualities of listening. That's correct.
Unmute you.
Listening skills. One listening skill each. Then I'll go to the third skill. Come on, quickly, fast. Who's going to start? Kaustav, you start this time. Come on.
Ma'am, I'll start. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, the listener should pay full attention to what the speaker is saying, and he should not interrupt by talking in the middle.
Okay.
And they should be in a quiet atmosphere where there's not when there is no disturbance, so that it does not interrupt the conversation.
Excellent. Who's going to try the next one? Yes,
Ma'am, I'll
Rona.
try.
Okay, Rona.
Ma'am, no talking if when speaker is telling, we should not interrupt in between.
Okay. Next.
Ma'am, one more body.
Next
Ma'am,
one.
I'll try now. Ma'am, I'll
Yes,
try.
Ved.
Ma'am, the listener should take down minimum notes. So he should take down minimum notes and maximum use of them, and not fill his book up, because he has to also listen to the speaker and what he's saying. He might miss some notes while writing down.
Excellent. Melvin,
The listener should have a positive attitude.
he should have a positive attitude. Okay, very good. Yes, Ronak, you wanted to say something else?
Ma'am, body language.
Hmm?
Ma'am, if you are in a good manner, if you are sitting in a good manner, then
Body
the speaker
posture.
also.
That is a body posture,
That,
yes. Correct. And you should
speaker
also
also feels.
eye contact. That's also important, right? So I think basic idea of speaking and listening skills everyone has got. I'm going to the next type, that is
Ma'am, even Neha has said something.
concentrate on speaker's words and his body language. Okay, good. Fine. Now we go to the next one, that is persuading skills. Persuasion. Persuasion means what? What is the term persuasion mean?
And persuasion means telling a person to, like, ma'am, I can't explain.
Okay, anyone who can try? What is persuasion? Kaustav has suddenly gone out of the class. I can't see his video also on.
Ma'am,
Yes. What is
Ma'am,
persuasion?
you're only.
I'm waiting, not one.
Ma'am,
and
persuasion means to convince someone.
persuasion.
Ma'am, persuasion means to convince someone for something,
Okay, okay,
or to
correct.
influence someone.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in order to obtain the desired response, when I want a particular response from a person, I will try to persuade him. And this is the most important part for a salesperson in an organization. He will only be successful in his efforts and he'll be able to achieve his targets if he's able to convince the customer to buy the goods. The key to success in influencing and persuading is the ability to uncover the implicit needs and develop them into explicit needs. What are implicit needs? Who can tell me?
Ma'am, minimum needs to maximum needs. Ma'am, minimum needs. Implicit needs means minimum needs.
No. Who can try? What are implicit needs? And how we can cover them to explicit needs? Any idea? Anyone can try. I don't mind if the answer is wrong. I just want you to try.
I think explicit needs means enough needs, and implicit means the needs which are more but they are not fulfilled.
Okay, not correct, but okay. Melvin, you want to try? Ronak, you want to try?
Ma'am, confidence, need for confidence.
Okay. Implicit means implied needs. Needs which are there. Suppose your room is very dirty. Your mother comes and gives you a stare. What does she imply?
That we have to clean our room.
Did she directly
ma'am.
tell you?
No.
That
No, ma'am.
becomes
Facial
an
expressions.
implicit need. That is implied. The moment she sees you have not done it, means it is expected you are going to do. You have not given the worksheet. I have not directly told you you have not submitted, but I'm angry with you in the class. So what does it imply? You have to submit it. That is an implicit need. How do I convert it to an explicit need? When I convince you to speak about it. So what does the salesperson do? He is trying to produce those goods and services which are according to the needs of the customer. That is an implicit need. But the moment customer becomes vocal, I want this becomes an explicit need. Yes, Rona, tell me your question.
Ma'am, Neha is saying like facial expressions.
Yes, sorry.
Neha is saying facial expressions.
Facial expressions. Explicit means when you're being very clear about things. Like as a customer, please, if possible, can you produce this kind of good for me? I really need it. That is explicit, being to the point. Okay, someone coming and telling, Melvin, I want this to be done by this at 5 o'clock. This is explicit. This is what I want from you. Implicit is implied. Okay, and how does persuasion become successful? Persuasion becomes successful when you can uncover the implicit needs, when you can find out what the implicit needs are, and you can develop them into explicit needs, and you can satisfy them. In order to handle doubts, first listen to the customer, get a clarification, understand what he exactly wants. Then you will be able to resolve the doubts easily. Yes, Rana, tell me.
Unlike the buyer, no, the seller cannot suggest the what suggest the person like by direct express. He can give his suggest by facial expressions also.
Yes, correct. With your facial expressions. Like when you do this, what does this mean? What does this mean? Please do it. Isn't
Ma'am?
it? Facial expressions speak a lot, whatever you say.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can we say that implicit needs are indirectly telling you what to do?
Implicit needs indirectly tell you what to do. Explicit needs directly tell you what needs to be done.
Okay.
Clear? Now we go to probing needs or probing skill. What is probing? Anyone knows the meaning of it?
Interrogating.
Interrogating.
Asking-
Excellent. Very good. What else?
I'm asking
Ma'am, questioning.
problems like
Questioning.
Asking
Why?
questions. Correct. So one more important interpersonal skill is probing. Probing is the skill of questioning to obtain information. We want to uncover the needs. We want to change tracks in a conversation. We want to understand something. Something if someone is, constantly irritating you with something, you just want to change the track of it. It happens. We do it. So we ask something else. In a sales discussion also, probing helps to uncover the needs of the other person, which your product or service can satisfy. There are two types of questions: open-ended questions, open probing, and closed probing. What is open probing? Who can answer?
Open probing.
Ma'am, it's
I
an
think
open discussion.
clear
Open discussion. Excellent. Where you
I'm
can
asking
express
question direct.
yourself.
Express yourself.
I'll say, how did you like the commerce class today? You openly said, ma'am, I liked it. No, I did not like it. And what are the things I should have done? What are the things you are enjoying about the class? You can give a full detailed understanding and
Review.
expression about yourself. That is open probing.
Most
Closing probing means having direct answers. Did you attend the class? What answer it can have? Yes?
Yes or no?
Or no?
Yes.
So that becomes closed probing. Understood? Okay. Let's see one video to make this part clear to you. Just have a look at it.
Motivational speaker Tony Robbins once said, successful people ask better questions, and as a result, they get better answers. And there's no doubt he's right. When we ask the wrong questions, we don't get the information we need. This wastes time and can end up sending us on a wild goose chase. The right questions do the opposite. They give us information we need when we need it. Appropriate questions open doors instead of closing them. No matter who we are or what we do, we ask questions all the time. We use them to learn more about our tasks, our roles, and the world. We also use them to understand people better. And so learning how to ask good questions is an important communication skill. There are several techniques and strategies you can use to help you do this. One of them is knowing when to ask the closed question. The closed question is the one that can be answered with yes or no, or with a very short statement. So for instance, if you ask a colleague, did the meeting go well? You're using a closed question because she can only answer yes or no. And then the conversation finishes. An open question is more effective because it encourages the other person to provide more information. For instance, asking a colleague, what did you cover during the meeting today, is an open question. This is because they're asking him to give you a longer or detailed answer.
Did you understand what it said? It said that what is
Yes,
open
ma'am.
question and what is closed question. If you directly are attending a meeting and you're asking your colleague, right? Sometimes it happens or not that you're asking your colleague what kind of question it is. Is it that did you attend the meeting? If she says yes, that means it's a closed question or no. But if you ask her what were the details discussed in the meeting, it becomes a closed question. Clear? No problem with probing. Then it also answers questions like what, why, how, where, who, when, all these type of questions we can discuss through probing. Okay. Where is Kaustav? I cannot see him. He suddenly disappeared from the...
Disconnected.
He's got disconnected. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And he's having technical issues. He told.
Okay. Let's go to the next part then. Now we go to conflict handling skills. Two people, when they are interacting with each other, they may get into some kind of a disagreement on an issue. A conflict may arise between them. Conflicts may arise because of several reasons. It could be a difference in interest. It could be a difference in perception, right? So for example, a manager who's constantly pushing for more production in the factory, he may have a conflict with his workers, right? Who feel the manager who's singing a song in the middle. Melvin.
No, ma'am.
Yes, please pay attention. Right. Okay. So sometimes what happens is with two people, we are interacting with each other. There may be a conflict that is arising between them. What is a conflict? Conflict results in a disagreement. Like a manager who's constantly pushing for more production. He is having a conflict with the worker because the worker is not able to fulfill the needs of the manager. So lots of steps should be done to resolve these conflicts, like proper and timely communication, clearly defined roles, respect for irrespective of their designations, carefully listening to them and resolving the grievances, giving feedback and positive attitude. So whenever there is a disagreement, sometimes we are not agreeing on to something or we are having fights with each other, please understand each other's goals, understand what the other person wants and try to resolve the situation out. Is it clear? Anything to ask here?
No, ma'am. I don't see so.
Okay. So there's 4 minutes left. I'm going to put one video for you. You can have the last video and just look at it.
Okay.
So it comes, we'll be ending the class with the last video. Okay. I'm sure you're going to enjoy this one. How was it? Nice?
Nice, ma'am.
Enjoy it? Okay, so what all expressions
Yes,
did
ma'am.
you see of Charlie Chaplin there? Can anyone put a light on it?
Where he showed happy expressions in some part, then he was scared,
Yes.
and then irritated, and sometimes he was like annoyed or irritated
Did you see
because
his
of the dog.
reflexes about, and even we use paralanguage and proxemics here. He was trying to be
Yes,
away
ma'am.
from the lion, okay, to
Yes, ma'am.
give his inter space so that he doesn't get attacked. At the same
Yes, ma'am.
time, he was very particular and very silently he was working so that he doesn't make the sound. Although the dog came later and started barking.
Barking.